Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and today I bring to you a video on the best ice attack gear guide. What you need for the Zinogre event. So we all know Zinogre's coming out into the field, and we're all excited for it to come out so we can kick its butt. However, some of you may not be at the level you need because you need more ice attack or you need more materials. So this guide explores the equipment that provides you with ice attack. And this equipment is necessary for the upcoming Zinogre event. Well, Zinogre will finally spawn out on the field for the first time. I'll be exploring ice builds in separate videos. So this video is purely just going to look at the equipment, and we're just going to take a look at comparisons, etc. And like I mentioned, ice builds for all weapon types will be in a separate video. Alright, first we're going to start off with the list of ice attack gear for Legiana. And we have the Legiana helm, and it's known as the Legiana helm in game. We have Divine Blessing level 1, and it will give you ice attack level 1 at grade 6. In addition, we have the Legiana waist, which is called the Legiana coil. It gives you ice attack level 2 out of the new forge, and at grade 6, you get windproof level 1 if you upgrade it to grade 6. Alright, next we have one more ice element monster, and this is the list of ice attack gear for Barioth. First off, we have the Barioth chest, which is known as the Barioth mail in game, which gives you ice resistance level 1. However, at grade 6, this will give you ice attack level 1. So useless at first, but useful once you upgrade it to grade 6. You also have the Barioth arms, which are the Barioth fan braces. These start off at ice attack level 1. But if you upgrade them to grade 6, they turn to ice attack level 2, which is one of the most important pieces for ice attack builds if you plan on getting to ice attack level 5. Next up, we have what is the easiest ice element monster to hunt? Well, the easiest ice monster to hunt is Legiana. Unfortunately, Legiana can only be found in swamps, so it's only a one biome monster. And it's not really easy. If you aren't used to its moveset, then in battle, it can give you a really hard time. I will put both of my monster attack guides, which has all the attack patterns for both Legiana and Barioth, at the end of this video. However, in comparison to Barioth, Legiana is permanently on the field, unlike Barioth, which will only appear at certain times or hunt-a-thons. So Legiana is here to stay, and you will find Legiana no matter what, and it's going to be boosted in the ice event. So you should totally go after as many Legiana as you can. However, if you're having trouble with attacks, like I mentioned, I'm going to put the attack pattern videos, and I already put out the fire attack builds. So if you want to roast Legiana and turn it into, I don't know, what happens when you roast Legiana? I don't know. Anyways, if you want to melt it to death, I have my fire attack builds that I will link once I put the ice build videos up over here. Next up, we have the hardest ice element monster to hunt, and of course, the hardest ice monster to hunt is Barioth. Barioth can only be found in forests during certain times of the year or hunt-a-thons. It has a wild attack moveset and is fast. If you haven't fought Barioth, take a look at my monster guide to take it down. Again, I'm going to link that at the end of this video. But if you're brand new, you're a beginner, you're trying to take this thing on, it's probably going to be one of the most annoying monsters you will fight. It is fast like Odo Garen, and it flies through the air like a Rathalos. And Barioth is time limited or only in hats. You should go after building its equipment for its skills first rather than building the weapons. At this time, Barioth is only going to be available in hunt-a-thons. And it's only available, I'm assuming, during winter, because winter is when it's on the field, and it disappeared after the next update, or the recent one, which was the Verdal Invader. So for Barioth, definitely go after the armor for its equipment skills, and ignore the weapons. Just go after Legiana if you aren't trying to max it out. But if you're still looking for Barioth weapons and you're close to getting it to the promised land of 10.5, I will have a guide for the best Barioth ice attack builds as well. Next up, we have the estimated cost for grade 6 gear for Legiana. So Legiana can be found on the field only in swamps. The good thing is Legiana gear starts at grade 5. So you only need to do one grade or one overgrade to go from grade 5 to grade 6. And Legiana can be tracked using the monster tracker, so you can use that to help you with your Legiana grind. Now, some of you might not know this, but in order for you, well, if you're brand new, in order for you to use the monster tracker, you must defeat Rathalos first. So you have to beat the big red face of the Monster Hunter franchise dragon for many titles before you can actually track Legiana using your monster tracker. And a lot of people I know, or a lot of my community, has been saying they've been tracking Legianas. So it's a good thing you're doing that, because there's going to be more during events. And the good thing is Legiana doesn't require a lot of materials from a new forge to a grade 6. Like I mentioned, it starts at 5, so going to 6, as you see from this, isn't actually too hard, which is good. Now we covered Legiana, we got Barioth. Here's the estimated cost for grade 6 gear for Barioth. So Barioth can only be found in forests, in certain time frames, and hats. So if you were here during the winter and you culled all those Barioth, you probably don't have to worry about Barioth now. But for those of you that were on the edge of making Barioth into your grade 6 that you needed so desperately, it's your time. So Barioth gear starts at grade 4. Barioth being locked into winter time or events makes it really hard to get materials for. So I know a lot of y'all will be going after the big white saber-tooth tiger dragon thingy that flies in the air. And the really hard part is, you need both of the Barioth gear at grade 6 for the most optimal melee build for their ice attack benefits. So if you want the primary melee builds, or optimal ones like I mentioned, you need both of the Barioth gear at grade 6. So if you don't have it, you're going to be going after them pretty hard during that ice event that's coming up pretty soon. Unfortunately, there are limitations of the ice attack build pathways. There really isn't a cheap way to max ice attack. This is really unfortunate because there really is no budget or cheap way to do this. When you get to Legiana, you're practically almost finished with the story. If you're struggling with it now, then you're going to struggle with a whole lot of them when they come soon, unless you get your equipment up. Both monsters that contain ice attack are difficult to defeat for newer players / beginners, and Barioth is locked to wintertime, events, and hunt-a-thons. That just sums it up, for these two monsters are really freaking hard. Not only to defeat, but also to get materials for, because they're both locked to one biomes and the other one is locked to a certain time frame. Unless you're like me, where you've literally been playing for a really long time, or you've used materials wisely to where you can roast Legiana and Barioth with no problem. Fortunately, there is plenty of lock-on options for ice attack melee builds. Thanks to the way ice attack is structured, you have the option of lock-on, which is really great. However, there is a lack of ice attack options in other armor slots, which limit how much you can customize. So you really don't have a lot of leeway to play around with other weapon types, like for example like Charge Blade, or with a longsword if you want quick work, just because of the way it's structured. So you want it with those weapons, we're just going to have to wait for more monsters to come out that can actually give you ice attack. I will be making build videos for the best options for ice attack builds for both Legiana and Barioth. So again, there's no cheap way to do this, so I'm going to do one for each ice monster, depending on where you're at. Hopefully this will help you prepare for the upcoming Bolt of the Wild Zinogre event. We're all doing this for one purpose. Zinogre's finally going to be out to the field. What is Zinogre weak to? Ice. So we're going to light that giant thunder tiger dragon thingy on ice. Send it to the next ice age. Take all of its materials and be ready for whatever comes next. With that being said, please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Hopefully, again, this guide helps you out on what you plan on getting. And again, look out for those builds soon. And look at these monster guides for all the attacks and tips and trips for both Legiana and Barioth. Again, good luck on your grinds, and I'll see y'all on the next video.
Ciao!